Good evening, good afternoon, and jolly hello. This is Ben Chai, the Doctor Who of business. If you do enjoy my broadcasts, please do share them with your friends and people you think would be benefit from the broadcast. Today, actually, I'll be sharing a little bit from the conference I've been on with my team and some of the areas that we discuss, because we're putting together our business plan for 2019 to 2020. And one of the areas that I really want to share about is the importance of team. Now, everyone thinks a team is important, but they never actually engage in it. And in the corporate world, you have this kind of backstabbing component, or people hiding information from one another. In the entrepreneurial world, you have people wanting to do everything themselves. So as some of you know, in my businesses, I have done a business on my own, and that was really hard work, incredibly stressful, and like I had no backup. The business which actually made me the most money was an education and training business I had, in which we had a team of people, and the business sold for it sold for around 7 million, which was a combination of equity and cash. Now, before I start, I as always, I just like to say thank you to people. And so, thank you to everyone who's joined in. Anna Corinne, how are you? How are things going? And the lovely Sephora. If you ever come and join the GTEx world, you can see me occasionally pop into that world. And Sephora is this amazing lady who looks after and makes things happen. The lovely Yelena, I do get some coaching from this lady. She's an amazing woman, very, got amazing insights. And also thank you for Nav and Mike and the lovely Liz for tuning in. Thank you also to my team, to Keely Vong, to Miles, who you may have seen him in the property broadcast when we were talking about risk management, and Pete, because they're just amazing people, and to Jess, my daughter, who's just taking a load of stress from me dealing with the insane person who lives next door to me. So thank you, Jess. I really appreciate that. Anyway, so team, right. It's so easy for us to be a one-man army. In fact, we used to think, I need to be good at sales, I need to be good at marketing, I need to be good at tech, I need to be good at content. And so there I was, this one-man army who knew about everything, but it was so stressful. And did I make more money on my own? Yes, I did. But I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy the journey. There was nobody to share anything with, if I was even awake to share anything with somebody else. And it totally messed up my social life. Like, I'm always busy. I hate saying I'm busy. I really do these days. And I think busyness is actually, I've decided it's a disease, which I still suffer from. So I don't want to make any of you out there feel terrible about it. But yes, so I do try and free up my diary to have a more relaxed lifestyle. Some of the reasons why people do everything by themselves is, as I've said, perhaps because of ego, or that they've got to prove something to someone. And believe me, the only person you've got anything to prove something to is yourself, if you even need to do that. So ego is a really big thing. And I see this often. I was chatting with an entrepreneur the other day, and I said, who's your team? Because he was telling me about 12 of his businesses, and his team is himself and his girlfriend, right? And I'm thinking, that is not going to end very happily. Why is that? Because I had a very wonderful business with a close relative of mine, and she got this insane boyfriend who was very paranoid person. And yes, so you know how you become like the people you hang out with. Well, over time she became equally paranoid, and that caused me tremendous problems. So you know, when I talk about teams, and especially if you have more than one business, I'm actually thinking that you should have different teams for different businesses. So like I've got a property team. Now, why a team? Why does that give you less stress? Please do share, because some of you know why. You're going through a lot of stress and hassle today. But if you had somebody to take some of that burden from you, it wouldn't be so bad. So here are some reasons why a team. And I've written it in my notes: risk management. So first of all, you can go on holiday and not worry about the customers. How wonderful is that? And also, because you've gone on a holiday, you're more refreshed when you get back to speak to the customers. You could be ill. Again, no income if you're ill and you're a one-man band. In the team aspect of our business plan, we were looking at the roles of different people. So for example, I just enjoy being on stage and sharing and enabling people from a stage platform and in my content. But I'm not always the best person to organize people, because I can get a little bit tyrannical, I guess, at times. Don't think I can't these days, but I can, because like my mind is moving so quickly. I come up with an idea, and then the next 10 minutes I've got a totally different idea. And so that's not really good for managing people. So that's why, you know, I have people like Miles, who's wonderful at communicating internally, and Keely, who's just so great at organizing our people. We've got Pete. He just handles all our systems, and all he can think about is, how can I automate this for us guys? How can I automate this? How can I automate that? Now, of course, I can do that because my background is technology. But do I like doing that? Do I want to spend most of my life doing that? And the answer is no, I don't. Even though I used to teach it and I used to set up people's systems. So Pete is fantastic there. So these are just some people in our, if you like, our property team. We also have Lexi, like an executive director. He used to be part of the team, but he's gone off to do other things. Lex, why'd you do that? But anyway, he handles a lot of our accounts and our finances, and he has a lot of financial strategies to help us be very efficient with tax and how we deal with profits and expenses. So this is why a team is great. Now, could I do it all? Yes, I can. I have done that. I've been online with HMRC and the Companies House and done all Lex's bits. Can I manage a company? Of course I have. I've been a director in so many different roles, but it's just so inefficient of my time to do all of these roles. And if anything happens to me, it's really bad for the business, and most importantly, our customers. So a common question asked me is, okay, I want a team. I'm with you, Ben. This is a great thing. I'll have a team. How do I find the people? And I remember speaking with a guy who, I met him in Las Vegas, and he was setting up this popcorn stand. And in the popcorn stand, he had like 50 different flavors of popcorn, from pickled onion popcorn to cornflakes popcorn to marshmallow popcorn. Anyway, we got talking, and I found out he was actually the owner. Now, this owner was of a popcorn business that was worth in excess of $100 million. Yes, that's right. Who makes popcorn that's over 100 million? But he initially, when he was finding the different teams for his popcorn stands around the States, and then he's expanded internationally, he would, and I think he still does. So originally he used to try and get friends and family and people from his church. And he said, Ben, that's a really bad thing to do. He said because although he wanted to help them and help them with their economy, they kind of didn't get it. They thought, he's our friend, he's wealthy, he's just going to pay us a wage, and that's great. And that doesn't really help the business. So he found that 1 in every 100 person that he interviewed was the right person. And he had a list of characteristics that he would connect with, and they would connect with him and have a great time with him. And people with so we like to think about character, so that's personality, and skill set. That's the two things you need: personality and skill set. Personality that connects with you, skill set that complements or works with the business. So 1 in 100 people. Now I actually have been fortunate to meet certain people. So with the property team, I actually was in a publishing business with Miles and Lex, and through another business I met Keely, who then brought in Pete, who was fantastic. So we've been very fortunate there. In the education and training business, I was part of a contractor for a company, and because I was the best instructor in that company, they saw what I was doing. They also saw the education technology business that I'd set up with another group of people. And we became friends, and over time we got to know each other, and that's how we were able to trust each other in setting up this fantastic business. Really, really great business, because again, more than just business people, we're also friends. So we went out, had drinks, shared, war stories, and so on. And I think that's really the best thing to have. So it may take a time to find the right people in your life. You have to do that by writing down that list of characteristics, and just, wherever I go, I meet great people. I really do. And I've got a book where I write their name down. Could be great in a business together. Here's what I see in their skill set. Maybe one day I'll approach them, depending on what happens or what we need. Now, before I go, I'm just going to share a couple of more things. When I was working in the military, so I used to run a company called Lanix, and I still am there. Still do a little bit of work with the directors there, but we had a contract to work with the military, and it was a company called Kinetic. Now, Kinetic had been taken over. Yes, it had been made. It'd been got rid of or divested by the military to be a kind of a corporate on its own. And because, when you come from the civil service, you actually don't know how to run a business properly and effectively. So they've got this man on board, and this man brought his team. And unfortunately, he had to get rid of a number of people who weren't good in their roles, but he always replaced them with his team. And over time, because you've got that great team, because I trust Keely and Miles and Pete, when I've been offered some recent jobs to help turn companies around, all I want to do is actually bring those guys in, because I know what they do, I know their strengths, I know their weaknesses, I know that they'll cover for my weaknesses, and we just work really well together. That's it. So it's really important that over time you find that team, those people, and think about how you can work with them. Now, the second aspect of a team is that many people don't like to find people, because you might have to think, oh, I've got to pay them a salary. Well, not really. Find people who want to do stuff, and think about sharing a little bit of equity, just a tiny bit with them. Now, initially you might want to leverage a lot of the equity of the business, but I understand. I was having a chat with my good friend Shola today, and he was sharing about a lot of the billionaires he knows. And he said, Ben, they're really control freaks. They will never let you have any type of control in their business. So maybe if you want to be a billionaire, be a control freak. Anyway, so guys, I hope this sharing about a team and its importance and how to find that team is useful to you. Again, please write your comments. Please do share what your perspective is and how some of you have found your teams. I have some great friends who are in recruitment also, who can help find the right people that you might want in your world. Just a little thing which has nothing to do with teams, but it's something I've been repeating over and over to some friends. It's not over until it's over. And so team aside, until somebody signs a contract and pays you money, you haven't got the deal. Until the money is in your account, it's not in the deal. Until, if you like, a property is completed, until a deal is sealed, and you are out working for them, no matter what they say in their mouth, it can still all go pear-shaped. More on that perhaps in another broadcast. But for now, this is Ben Chai, the Doctor Who of business, saying goodbye. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in.